Hello, everybody. It's about that time. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Today, guys, today's beer. This is Samuel Smith's Old Brewery Tadcaster in parentheses here on Beer Advocate. This is her Nut Brown Ale. This was sent to me by my beer brother Greg, and he writes on this one. He tends to shy away from British beers, and so do I. Uh, he said, but this one impressed him and was ranked number 2 in the style on Beer Advocate. Uh, for a nut brown ale, it is the quintessential nut brown ale. He said, I liked it in beer review number 64. Guys, that was a long time ago. That was when I first started doing beer reviews. I mean, I was probably into my second month, maybe just barely into the third month, 10 years ago. Stuff that I thought was super impressive then, I don't find them to be super impressive anymore with the amount of beers I've reviewed over the years. The English beers are okay. They're very well made. They've been brewing them a long time. This one says that they were established in 1756, it looks like, 56 or 58. That's a long time ago. They've been brewing beers for a very long time, several centuries, so they probably got it figured out. And back then, they were not canning anything. Everything was in the bottle with gold foil on top of it. And he said I gave it a 92 back then. This is only a 5%er. This is something that I probably would not pick up for myself again because of the ABV, and second because of the British style. And I'm not mealy-mouthing their beers at all. Their beers doesn't have, to me, the flavor and the taste that I am looking for. A lot of people absolutely love this beer. And it is a tasty beer, I will say that. And I haven't had it in 10 years. I mean, I haven't had it in a long time. So he picked this up and sent it to me. So Greg, thanks a bunch. I do appreciate it, sir. I have not had one in the can now, so this will be the first time I've done one in the can. The fuss I have about it, on the bottom of the can, it has SI15S1. Guys, I don't have a clue what that's supposed to mean. You might be able to decipher that code if you go to their website or something. I would just as much see them put a month and a year or something on it for 5%, so you don't have to try to decipher that code. So we shall see if I'm just as impressed as I was 10 years ago on this beer. I do think putting in a can is probably going to be a little bit better than putting it in a bottle. That's a mini keg, guys. The light can't get to it or anything, and the cap can't leak. So I think the can version is probably the way to go on a lot of beers nowadays, guys. That is a mini keg. No matter how you look at it, that's why when you go to a bar or a tap room or anything, the beers you're probably getting, unless they're pouring something out of a bottle and they don't have it on tap, it's going to come out of a keg. A metal can, just like what this is. So a great way to distribute beers, package beers, store beers. I used to be, if it wasn't in a bottle, I didn't want it. I could taste the can. I don't like this, I don't like that about it. Can is the way to go, guys. It really is. Over the years, I have woke up and smelt the roses, as they say. This is a mini keg. So let's see if I'm just as impressed today as I was 10 years ago when I first did this beer. Like I said, they've been doing it a long time. So let's jump over to Untapped. And they say brewed with well water. The original well at the old brewery, sunk in 1758, is still in use, with this hard well water being drawn from 85 feet underground. Best barley malt, yeast, and aromatic hops fermented in stone Yorkshire squares to create a relatively dry and rich nutty color and palate of beech nuts, almonds, and walnuts. So they are saying it's 30 IBUs, guys, here on Untapped. So let's get this thing opened up. It is a 16-ounce can, and get it into the glass and see what we got. It's a light brown color coming out. Looks very clear. Does look like a filtered beer. And before I get the last little bit, I'm going to throw around just in case there's something that has settled down in that can. Like I can't decipher the code. I'm not going to go to their site or try to jump through hoops to figure out how old the beer is. It is what it is. So, there we go. About a finger of head on that pour. It is a, I want to say, a brownish mahogany color. And I can see light right through it, guys. It does look like a filtered beer to me. So, let's see what we got. To the nose we go. And it is just how I remember it from 10 years ago. It has a slight nutty aroma. I'm getting some roasted barley. Maybe a little hint of some caramel toffee. There is a nuttiness to the beer, but the aroma is just how I remember it being. So let's dive in and see what we got. Cheers, everybody. Thank you, Greg. I do appreciate it. It is a very smooth, easy drinking, very pleasant beer. For a brown ale, a low ABV, very sessionable. Ice cold is the way I would like this, like a lager or pilsner. Very refreshing. For a low ABV nut brown or brown ale, it is perfect. That is exactly what you're looking for. This would be a good beach beer, pool beer, whenever we can do that activity again. Very nice. I can understand why this is ranked number 2. When you think of it, when I think of a nut brown or a brown ale, this is what I think of, especially if you're looking for a low ABV version where you could drink more than 1 or 2 of them and not get too inebriated. So I do think, again, the can is the way to go on these beers. You can pack it in, pack it out. A lot of places, pools, beaches don't want you bringing glass in. This solves that problem, and it keeps the light from getting to the beer. So, guys, it's right out of the fridge. It is nice and cold and tasty. I'm going to go sip on it. Probably not going to sip on it for an hour. To me, this beer is very tasty. To me, just to me. You may like this beer room temperature. I like it nice and cold. So, I'm going to go sip on it, and I'll come back and we'll give it a grade. Alright, guys, I'm back. Been sipping on it about 30 minutes or so. Tasty beer, guys. It is. When you think of a nut brown ale or just a brown ale, this should come to mind right off the bat. Very tasty beer. Very easy drinking. 5%. Very sessionable, if you will. This is a good beer, guys. I mean, there's no way around it. Grading it for what it is, I can understand why it's ranked number 2 at Beer Advocate in the style. It does fit this style perfectly. So The only fuss I got's their silly dating code on the bottom of it. I am glad to see that they are canning it now instead of putting it in a bottle. So, final chug here. Very refreshing beer. Very easy drinking. Nice nuttiness to it. A little bit of caramel and toffee. Very pleasant. Very, very pleasant beer, guys. I enjoyed it. Probably not something I would pick up. One, because of the ABV, and two, because of the dating. They could just easily, if they have a machine stamping something on the bottom, they could have put them up there in the air on it instead of putting some code. Same fuss I got with a lot of breweries over here on this side of the pond. Putting some kind of code, or even a Julian code's easier to decipher than what that one is. So I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. SI15 S1. I don't have a clue. There's no 9 for 2019 or no 20 or O on it for 2020. I don't have any idea what that means. Maybe a batch number. I don't have a clue, guys. So for a 5% beer, it needs to have some kind of date on it. That's just my opinion, though, guys. It's a well-made beer, and I'm gonna grade it that way. I'm gonna give it a 90, guys, because of the date. If it had a date on it, I may even go to a 95. But with that code on the bottom of it, it gets a 90 for me, A minus. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 92, outstanding, and Untapped has it at 3.6, which is a B scale, not even in the B plus. So, like I said, some people like it, some people not so much. Depends on where your palate is and what you like to drink. It's a well-made beer, guys. It is, but it doesn't blow my hair back or my socks off. If you've had the new version in the can from Samuel Smith's or Nut Brown Ale, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.